So, this is what I asked to all my guests. Have you ever felt shy or like your voice didn't quite belong in a space, or how did you overcome it? Because for myself, it was very hard to overcome my shyness and have that confidence in
Hmm.
myself. And I feel like a lot of audience will want to know, how do I find that confidence in myself? Because it's really hard to speak up. Do I have to be that leader in the crowd?
Mm.
And did you ever experience moments of shyness or fear of while building your brand? How did you overcome those feelings?
Yeah, of course, I feel shy all the time, and I still do till this day after 8 years. I think the first time, there are two big moments. I think the first one is that I was shy to share my products or like my, handmade rice cakes to the world, like to everybody, because it's also food. So it's very, it can be very a sensitive thing. So I was always shy and I was always worried that someone would complain after they pick up the order or after I hand over the rice cakes. So I always get nervous and I had many nightmares of people complaining about my stock. So that's one thing
Um,
that I always had, and I still do. And I always have like PTSD of like getting a text after I deliver or after they
all
pick up the
right.
order because I worry that someone is not gonna like it. So I think that's one like shyness that I still carry with me. And the other one is with social media. I know people are interested in my rice cakes, but they like to, of course, see the progress or the process too. But I also get this a lot. Like they want to see me more like on social media, I guess. Not everybody, but there are some people that have reached out like, oh, we want to see like you doing it more in action. So like they
All
want to see
right.
me like my face or like my personality more. Because if you see my
Mm.
Instagram, it's just like pretty pictures and very like you just see the dog, right? You don't see a whole lot
Mm.
of me in there on there.
Mm. Mhm.
So they want to get to know me, which is great. And I'm a very open book. I'm very like relatable. I'm like, I'm very good with people, I think, in my opinion. So
Right.
I, but I'm better in real life. Like I'm not good with that on social media. So I guess I'm more shy on social media than I am in person. Maybe that's how I need to say it. And then I'm
Mhm.
shy with my rice cakes too, still, even though even though people, people are usually nice, so they will
Mhm.
compliment you more than giving you criticism. So,
Right.
I think the way I overcome it, I don't think I have overcome it. It's still like an
Mm.
ongoing work in progress thing for myself,
Mm.
and it's still a part of me, and I'm okay with it. I don't think I have to like really
Mm.
overcome the fear or being shy. And I think
Mm.
being shy is okay, to be honest, in my
Mhm.
opinion. But as long as you're still delivering and doing what you're supposed to, but feeling scared or shy inside, I think that's fine. Um, I have honestly no plans on trying to overcome it. I'm just gonna just do what I can, and if I'm shy, I'm shy. If I mumble, I mumble, and then I'll apologize for my mistakes or my mumble, my me. I will apologize for me mumbling sometimes. And then you move on and try to sound more smart, I guess.
Because I'm imagining myself, my younger self, right? I was the
Uh-huh.
shy one who's sitting in the
Yeah.
back of the classroom, which is why
Yeah.
I'm referring to my second book that's coming out on
Mm.
July 10th, because I'm imagining the people holding my book in the
Mm.
back of the classroom, like, oh, I wanted to dream something. I want to really speak up my identity. I want to really
Yeah.
show people what I'm really creative of. I want to show people my creativity, my craft. I'm so good at this, but how can I show up to people and how can I start
Mm.
this whole business or this aspect? It's not about the money. I really want to talk to that person and show my business. I want to show my little rice cake that I made.
Mm.
Would they like it? Like, I'm imagining this whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just giving me that flashback. I'm like, oh my God, I was once that kid, wanting to talk to somebody, wanting to talk to a
True.
teacher about
Uh-huh.
question, but
Yeah,
I was like,
I
I
was like
hold it
that. Uh-huh.
back.
Yeah,
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 and then
yeah.
imagine thousands of, students out there who wants to pursue that one dream, but they can't because they couldn't talk, like they couldn't get that
Mm.
confidence in them. But I know that even though you're shy, even though you don't speak up, it's okay. Take your time. And then there will
Yeah.
be one moment that your talent and your skill creating a craft will speak for itself.
Or yeah,
So,
yeah, I think I think
yeah.
you summed it up really nicely from what I
Mhm.
was
Oh,
trying to
thank you.
say. That's exactly what I meant. Like, because I remember I was very
Mm.
shy when I was little too, because moving back from Korea to the States and then States back to Korea and then going back again, like I did a lot of moving. So in those
Oh.
transition, I was always
Mm.
very shy. But then I was very strong inside, but
Mm.
from the outside, I was shy. So for me, example, even though I didn't speak up, I always knew like what I wanted or what I needed to do. So I would just
Mm.
quietly do things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I didn't
Yeah.
have to raise my hand, but I'll like quietly go ask the teacher later or something like that. So
Right.
then I still kind of
You
did it
you
in
have
my
your own
own way.
style.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I think with rice cakes too, I was very shy for a really long time and I wanted my work to speak for itself because I didn't want to speak for it, right? So I didn't want to
Right.
like go up on social media, show my face and like explain all this because I just wanted my products and my videos to kind of speak for itself, which is why I was saying I'm still shy in front of the camera still. But I think for my case, doing it for so long with many trial and errors, I think I am definitely a lot more comfortable than I was before. And that things just take time and practice. So
Hmm.
you just have to practice a lot and
Right.
fail a lot and still get up and do it again,
Oh,
you know?
continue with that idea. If you had a chance to start the rice blossom all over again, let's just say we're gonna start this from scratch again. What would you do differently?
What will I do differently? There's two things for me that I always kind of look back and kind of wish what I've done things differently.
Hmm.
One is have a plan. I did not have a plan
Oh.
because I did not have a plan on doing a business. So
Mm.
my plans, but I think this is okay too. But if I were
Right.
to go back, I might
Hmm.
want to have more of a strategic plan where I can be, where it can be more financially like drive more revenue, to be honest. Because rice cake
Mm.
business is so hard and such a labor of love. You don't make a whole lot of money, to be honest. And so
Hmm.
if your goal is to make money with your small business, then you should not do rice cakes. That's my
Mm.
honest opinion. And so that's one thing that I would probably do, have a strategic plan,
Mm.
but of course be flexible with your plan too. So
Right.
that's one thing that I would probably change. And I think my second one, this is maybe not kind of a thing, but I think once you have a plan, that also helps you um, start in a better way, meaning like you'll have your plans of like what you're going to do, like how many people you need on your team, like what it's going to cost, how much, like you have all those breakdowns. So I think having a good team, a team that could go long ways with you is something that I would probably want to start again because my girls that were my team members, they were all amazing, and I'm so thankful they were all part of my Rice Blossoms journey. But at the end, they're not there with me to like celebrate everything anymore because like people come and go, which is typical. It's like a very typical thing for businesses, like even corporates
Mhm.
too, right? People
Right.
work and then they leave after a couple of years. So that's how it's been too with me. But I wish I had a partner, I guess that's how I should say it, like a
Mm.
partner to do this business with me where we can build something bigger and better together
Mm.
instead of me trying
Mm.
to do everything alone. So,
Right. Mm.
but that's just my case. Every business is different. So, but
Mm.
I think when I see other small businesses that have succeeded, they always have a
Mm.
partner like a co-founder or a co-partner or some sort. So
Mm-hmm.
a single person trying to do a big successful business, I think
Mm.
it's not easy. It's really
It's
not
not.
easy.
Mm.
So having a good
You need a
plan and having a
team.
co-founder, yeah. So
Mm.
having a good plan and a partner, I think is
Yeah.
what I would um redo.
You launch your business. What was your original hope or dream for how rice cake could grow and impact others?
Good question. So I think as I started Rice Blossom, I always dreamed of having an amazing rice cake cafe because you see so many bakeries with cafes or cafes with
Hmm.
bakeries, right? But
Right.
you don't see a lot of rice cakes with bakeries. I mean, sorry,
Mm.
cafes or cafes with
Mm-hmm.
rice cake. And I
Uh-huh.
think that type of concept is actually happening more and appearing more and more in Korea
Right.
lately. So every year
Right.
I go, or starting last year, I've been checking out more of those cafes, but it's
Uh-huh.
hard. Like I said, rice cake is really, really
Mm.
hard. And
Mm.
so I don't think there is a very successful one, to be honest, in my opinion. There are
Mm.
some nice ones, but I don't know how like successful they are.
Mm.
And when I mean success, meaning like revenue wise, right? So
Uh,
I don't know how things are really going because cafes in Korea,
mm.
everything looks really pretty, right? So
Yeah, right.
yeah. And then I know there's one that opened in New York recently for the rice cake. It's a rice cake cafe, which is
Mm.
great. It's a beautiful space. But again, I don't know how well they're really like actually doing because New York rent is crazy and labor
All
is
right.
expensive.
Yes.
So, but at the end, business has it has to be um the revenue has to somewhat make sense to do a business, right?
Right. It's so
So
hard. Right.
my dream was to do a rice cake cafe, a beautiful, like Zen-like
Mm.
design one. But last year, when I was at a shared kitchen space for some time, I really realized how tough this was going to be moving forward to have a physical store.
Mhm.
And I don't think I'm really ready for that in my stage of life.
Mhm.
So that was like a good moment for me to test things out and
Mhm.
also quickly just kind of not quickly, but also just pivot in the
Mm.
meantime to not do that.
Mm.
And I felt such a big sense of relief. Even
Mm.
though I've been working towards that dream, I realized maybe that's not right for me at this moment.
Mm.
And so my next dream with rice blossoms is I don't know, to be honest.
Well, I think that's all of our question and our statement. We don't know, right? We just
Yeah.
just go ahead and YOLO, and we just go ahead and just live our
Hmm.
life and see
Yeah.
where it takes us, right?
Hey there, listeners. Before we go back to the podcast interview, if you love our podcast and want to reach out and engage audience, we got great news. We're now accepting brand deals, sponsorships, and promotion. Whether you're a brand looking to connect with passionate listeners or a business wanting to make an impact, we love to collaborate. Reach us out at chelseastorynook@gmail.com to discuss how we can feature your brand in our episodes. Let's create something amazing together. Now, back to the show.
This whole realm of timeline in our life. I want to go a little bit back, right? What kind of student were you growing up? And if you could go back to that one little girl, what will you tell her right now?
I did move around quite a bit in my childhood. So
Mhm.
when I was younger, I was more of a shy person. And I guess in high school too, I never was like one of the ones that are very outspoken. But I think in middle school, there was like 2, 3 years in my lifetime where I was very outspoken. I was like the leader in class and all that.
Great. Hmm.
But that was like a short 2 years, like 2, 3 years of my life. And but then again in high school, I became a little bit more quiet as well. So I've been like,
Hmm.
like I've seen a lot of sides of a lot of different aspects of my personality all kind of came
Mm-hmm.
out through my life. But
Mm-hmm.
when I would think to my little self, I would just say like, you're doing well, you're fine. Like, don't worry too much and just keep trying.
Like a big sister advice. It's like, hey, you're doing okay, all right? Just do what
Yeah,
you're
no,
doing right now.
I, yeah,
So
I think for
chill.
me, yeah, I'm not a very like emotional person to begin with. So
Mm,
there's not much emotions involved within me,
mm.
but I just think I just need a pat on the back saying you're doing great, you know.
We all need that support. And I want to rephrase that question then. What is that age that you're telling yourself you're doing fine? Just go on.
Mm.
Who is that little Jennifer you're talking to? Is what age, what grade? Where is her setting like? Where is she right now? I just want to
Oh,
know.
yeah, I think this was in my senior in high school or
Mm,
junior, between junior and senior when I was like applying for college or
mm.
like with the SATs and like applying for
Oh,
colleges. I remember being like really stressed out.
SAT. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I don't, do they still take SATs? I don't
Yeah,
know.
they still
Oh,
take
they do?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think those times, it feels like it's the end of the world if you don't get into a good college.
Mm,
And I definitely had that pressure too, but I didn't go to like, like the top tier or anything. But I remember just feeling pretty stressed
mm,
about that. So I think just honestly for me, if I were to be more open, I was probably fine. My childhood wasn't that um emotionally difficult in my opinion. I
mm.
think for me, I needed more pat on the back once I became a mom, to be honest.
It could be young. Yeah,
It could be.
definitely.
So for me, it's not like the little Jennifer, it's the adult Jennifer that really needed that help emotionally
I like that.
in my
That could
late
be
20s.
your late 20s.
My late
Aw.
20s, my early 30s was mentally rough for me as a new mom.
Mm,
Because I didn't know what I was doing. That was probably the only time I really didn't know what I was doing.
mm,
With this little human being next to me. But childhood, like adolescence, of course, everybody has a little bit of ups and downs, or a lot of ups and downs, I guess. But generally speaking, I think I was okay. I wasn't perfect or amazing, but I was fine. But
okay.
yeah, I would actually like to give myself a pat on the back when I became a new mom.
So now we know that Jennifer just needs a big hug. When you guys go see her in person, give her a big hug, guys. So she's
Oh, I
still a
know.
mom, guys, and she's a super mom. She's doing this business and being a mom. That's like two full-time jobs. And I want to ask, how did you find your own voice in a space where traditional and modern often collide?
I think just sharing my own experiences and opinions probably helped. Like
Nice.
seeing the old by creating the new, but not
Mm,
completely new. You're just like modifying what there
right.
is. So I think
Mm,
that's actually not as difficult as creating something new
mm,
because you already have something and you're just tweaking small things here and there. And
uh-huh.
with that, you make your own out of it as well. And then just
Mm,
sharing and being honest, this is not something I created from scratch. And like I just modified what's out there to make it fit my aesthetics and to make it feel good about what I'm making. And so I need to feel good about what I'm making in order to proudly share.
mm,
So, and just a lot of repetition.
mm,
So I think that's how it just kind of like I was able to just vocalize it more and be proud of it more as well, just by repetition and just knowing what I'm doing
mm,
and just having a good reason. I
mm,
think for me also business is it's good, But the reason why I'm doing this is also because not only because of the business, but I get to share and make my girls really proud of being Korean. Because I
Mm-hmm.
remember, I guess one thing I was shy about, I was shy was because I wasn't really proud of being Korean when I was little. I'm sure we
Yeah.
all have that story where we didn't want to open up our lunchbox because it was smelly, or like, I don't want
Right.
to eat kimchi because it smells, like we all had that
Right.
moment growing up. And I vividly remember those moments too. And which is probably why we tend to become more shy because we're not so
Right.
proud of it. But
Mm.
now, like Koreans are like amazing these days, it's so like a good moment to be Korean.
Mm.
And me doing this and sharing it with others and my girls seeing that and making them proud of what I'm doing also is part of why I'm doing this.
Mhm.
Like they think I'm such a famous person when I'm really not. So because
Oh.
they will come to my workshop and see like there are people, like learning with me, learning what I do.
Hmm.
And like they see me on like YouTube or whatever, social media,
Right.
Instagram. And so they're like,
Oh,
oh my God, mommy's so popular, but
she's
or
famous.
famous, but it's only to those like couple people, right? But to them, it's like a big thing.
Mm. What is your shine? That part of you that now lights the path for others. What is your shine?
What is my shine? Yeah. So my shine, I guess I would like to share is that last year, Bobby Brown reached out to us, and we did a small segment of me talking about my business and um,
Oh,
a woman as an Asian small business person.
uh-huh.
So it's on my Instagram actually. It was a short segment that I got to do with them for AIPI month last year. And I just felt really, really good to be connected with Bobby Brown because I love their products. And, the founders
Mm-hmm.
also obviously a woman. Although the original founder is no longer there anymore, but I love their products and just being able to be quote unquote a little recognized in a way
Mm-hmm.
to be on their major platform for me was a very rewarding moment.
Oh, wow. That's
So that one
amazing.
was good. And then another one that I would like to share is
Yeah.
this was like 3 years ago, I think. Bon Appetit also had our sompan recipe on their platform. Um,
Wow.
but I wish I can redo that again. So
Why?
I think the recipe that I shared was with using dry rice flour, which I don't normally recommend. This is just
Oh,
more technical stuff that I wish I shared more.
oh.
Um, so that's something I wish I could redo with them. But that was also a very like proud shine moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they can have me back so I can redo it.
Yeah, that's so awesome. That's a huge accomplishment. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
But all thanks to like being in New York and like having the right connections and like
Mm,
like Bon Appetit was through a friend of a friend.
mm,
They reached out, but Bobby Brown wasn't through a friend. But
mm.
there's so many Koreans working in all different industries here in New York, so I'm very thankful for that. So being Korean and trying to help other Koreans is very fun and exciting here in New York, I think.
That is so cool. Like you're so cool, Jennifer. And where
Thank
can we
you.
find you with all the Instagram, website? Where can we all find you?
Yeah, so my Rice Blossoms account is Instagram rice_blossoms, and our New York one is rice blossoms underscore NY, and our Hawaii one, for those that are traveling to Hawaii, it's rice blossoms underscore Hawaii. The leader is Shanna over there. She's great. And then we, I do have a TikTok. We do have a TikTok
Oh,
account,
uh-huh.
just rice blossoms, but it hasn't been updated as much. And then just our website, riceblossoms.com, is where you can find us.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, again, thank you so much for being on my podcast. It was such a pleasure to have you.
No, thank you for having me and listening to my stories.
It was such a heartwarming story.
Oh, thank
Everyone, thank you to our guest, Jennifer Lee Pan, aka Mama Pan, for sharing her story and wisdom. I'll have all her information linked in the description below, so be sure to follow Jennifer on her journey. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Chelsea Story New Podcast. If today's episode sparked something with you, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any episode. Drop your favorite takeaway in the comments below. I read every single one of them and share this video with someone who could use a little confidence kick. New valuable interviews land every week, and for daily behind the scene fun, join me on Instagram at Chelsea_Story_Nook. Until next time, keep growing, keep shining, and remember, your story is worth sharing. Take care, everyone, and carry it on. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today's episode of Chelsea Story Nook Podcast, Shy to Shine, your gateway to success. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share this podcast with someone who could use a little inspiration. We love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know your biggest takeaway from today's episode. Until next time, keep growing, keep shining, and always remember your story is worth sharing. And let's carry it on.